Recently, Patrick Bet-David from Valuetainment went on Andrew Schultz's podcast, and in the last 40 minutes or so, they covered almost every single conspiracy under the sun. Maybe not every single conspiracy, but they really did go in on a lot of different topics, and we get the joy of jumping into these and kind of connecting some of the dots for us that I think will be extremely interesting. Shout out to Flagrant Pod. Shout out to Patrick Bet-David, friend of the channels. My Armenian brother, me and his mom were actually born in the same city, good old Azerbaijan, Baku. And so they start getting into the question of who is they?
You know, like I guess who is the they? That's the exciting one.
That, honestly, if you can answer that question, who is they?
Yeah.
You can answer a lot of different things.
So we're in this conversation. They talk about the ESG scores. They talk about the DEI scores. All the different stuff. Do you remember that? You remember me talking about that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they cover that. I'm not sure if they're gonna go on to cover that, but they start getting into some really interesting things. Okay.
I can't say much more because they're here.
But yeah, who is it? I believe that there's a long-term strategy that you have people maybe in the State Department or the CIA or the FBI. I don't even know if the FBI would work in that way, but there's a longer geopolitical strategy that's attached to this country. I would hope.
Play the dark role. What is the outcome? What do they want to do?
Preserve America and its interests.
Dark side? The dark, so
yeah, maintain American supremacy.
Because American supremacy allows their businesses to flourish. Okay. A lot of people have said that, you know, the CIA in a lot of ways operates in the interests of these billion-dollar corporations. And I'm not just talking about like the ones that make the bombs and stuff. You might have a corporation that's selling bananas that come from Nicaragua.
Yeah. Notice what I said earlier before we got into the video. We often ascribe motive and ill intent to the day. This is the most charitable conspiracy theory I've ever heard in my life. He says they are not malevolent. They're not trying to harm people. They're actually working in the best interest of the government and attempting to control things for the sake of the country. So this is a very interesting plot twist in terms of how they're talking about this.
You control the money, you control the world.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, hey, all of a sudden Nicaragua wants to make a country out of itself. Well, that fucks up my banana business. Hey, CIA guy, can you do me a favor and stop my banana? Yeah, like, and then they might go in there, put somebody else in power, and who knows? Maybe that's beneficial to America in some way. We consume a lot of bananas, and we need them to get out of Nicaragua. I don't know, but there has to be somebody or a group of people, and I'm sure some of them are, you know, connected to politics. Maybe these like lifelong politicians, like a Nancy Pelosi type. It's like, what is she? She's a House of Representatives. She's not even a senator, right? She's
Speaker
a House.
Yeah,
so
she was.
She was Speaker of the House, but she's in a House, so she got a campaign every 2 years. Really? This old lady's gonna run around every 2 years for 40 years to maintain this little seat in the House of Representatives? She got to be part of something bigger. Like, it doesn't make.
Patrick Bet-David is like, he's like afraid to talk about this stuff, kind of like that's what his body language is. No, I don't know, but he's definitely sitting there like nodding along.
Sense to me.
You know, they just had the meeting, right? The meeting in Europe. What is it called?
Davos.
No, not the Davos. You'll see if you pull it up. The AI, and they had all these different issues, and they went through. This used to be a secret society meeting where nobody would talk about it publicly. Now they're no longer saying it. They're saying this meeting was being done here. Used to be in San Francisco. I want to say the
Bilderberg.
Oh, the Bilderberg conference, like Sweden or Norway or something.
Sweden or Norway. I think it's Sweden. And they wrote out exactly who was there, what the topics are, what the issues are.
Well, there's some good conspiracy stuff about this conference.
Yeah, Zeitgeist. It was in Zeitgeist. Change or one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
So the whole thing is like, who is they? Are they? Or is there a guy that's like, okay, have those guys sit right next to each other? Why is that person here? Who invited him? Oh, okay, I see why we have him. He needs to meet with him because we need to get that deal because we need that technology here for South Africa because of the deal that we're doing with India. So they, like, who is they? You
That's
know,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Who is it? And who continues to hire these people? And how do we make sure that we have the best talent? How do those people get recruited?
Do you think there's a couple different days?
Yeah. No, so I think that this is my hope. And I know this sounds crazy to hope, but like, I think that my hope is that there is a group of people that are the theys that we're thinking about, right? And these people probably work for government institutions. Maybe some of them are politicians. Maybe you want some that are in, and they're like the career politicians that you're like, why haven't you done more? Like, why is Nancy Pelosi campaigning every 2 years? Like, you're too famous to campaign. Like, why not go?
By the way, have you ever looked at Nancy Pelosi and her husband's picks on the stock market?
I've heard about this, but no, I haven't.
It's amazing. They like outperform every measurable metric.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
They're Warren Buffetts. They have the skill of Warren Buffett.
Amazing ability to pick all the good stocks.
I mean, that's why they're world leaders.
Why be a senator? Campaign every 6 years. It'll just be easier.
Power job, though. Speaker of the House is a very powerful job.
Of course, but she wasn't always speaker, right?
Yeah.
And she's been involved in politics forever. So you have a few of those people, and they plot the course of America, and those people interface with the billion-dollar corporations that are incredibly successful within America. My assumption is that once you're a Bezos, once you're an Elon, you're a government employee. And not in a bad way, but it's like, hey,
I love how charitable Andrew Schultz is with his conspiracy theories.
I think it's one of the things where you go like, no, it's all good because you want them to get to admit it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to be like, maybe they'll message me like, yeah, you're kind of right.
You want to keep on gaining money and gaining influence and being successful. Google has to talk to the government.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think Elon, his vision with what he's doing is good? Like, if I were to ask you what percentage of trust do you have that Elon is a good person trying to do good versus evil, what would you say?
I think Elon is a good person trying to do good and the best. I think he believes that he is doing the right thing. And I think that sometimes comes at odds with the powers that be.
Okay.
And I think that's why you see, like, for example, everybody loved Elon. Elon was the darling. There was the left and the right. The left were buying his electric cars, and the right was like, here's this businessman. He's making all this money. We love him. It was the one thing the left and the right could come together on and agree on. And then Elon gave a political opinion. He tweeted, it's hard for me to, I'm a lifelong Democrat. It's hard to me to consider myself a Democrat now. And just like anytime Joe Rogan says that he supports a presidential candidate or anybody with influence, and you're going to go through this as well, there was a smear campaign that happened the day after, and they were out there, whoever they is, out there trying to make him radioactive. Maybe that's the DNC. Maybe it's not even the theys that we're talking about. Maybe
they kind of dragged Elon for sure.
that's much
Lower level, yeah.
maybe that's like DNC to me is like low level.
Right.
It's like you're trying to get someone in his office. Like that's not the game we're playing. That's temporary game. Theys, that's forever game. Theys are like manifest destiny. Like we want to go back. Theys are like, yo, let's buy Louisiana.
Are you saying like Coke? You're talking about Rothschild? You're talking about
Peter
Soros?
Thiel.
You're talking about those types of guys?
I think those are the guys that get to interface with the government employees, right? Because you need someone who's actually part of the fabric of the government, and then you have so much success within business that you become part of the government. So Google can't operate on its own. The government needs to know what Google knows, and Google's like, you know what? That's fine, because otherwise I go to prison or whatever the fuck it is. Zuckerberg gets a call. Everybody gets a call, right? Like we even saw it with Twitter, right? It wasn't like the FBI interfacing with Twitter and telling them about it. So we know that they're discussing things, and we know things are going on. And like, to be honest, that's why I think you're in the best position, where it's just like you have generational wealth. Like if you wanted to stop right now, you're good. Your kids will be good. Your kids' kids will be good. And obviously, hopefully you put the values in them to make sure they make these smart decisions. Like you have real freedom right now. You have real freedom on planet Earth. That is fucking crazy. That is like 0.0000001% of human beings even get here. The only way to get there without money is like if you could live off the land. And that. I'm not trying to camp every single day, right?
Zach's browser.
I'm absolutely going to do that. That sounds amazing.
You know what I mean? I want air conditioning. I want a house, right? So once you get to multi-billionaire status, now you get the calls from those theys. And you'll find out who theys are, but you got to be willing to pay the cost. And they might call you and be like, listen, Trump ain't the guy, man. He's messing up these deals that are 50 years in the making. Like he's talking about buying Greenland. We've been trying to buy Greenland from 1905. We think we'll get it by 2030. And he's talking about it now. Now the price is going to go up. And they don't even realize the resources they have under there. But this baboon started talking about it. And like, there has to be somebody who decides we need to go from New York to California.
So you think there's an element of nobility in the establishment?
Hey, you want to see something kind of crazy? Over 75% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing and turning your bell notification on so that you don't miss anything we have going here.
Here's the thing.
Due to money, because the selfishness of making sure to protect the money.
There's a
It's an interesting theory, right?
Yeah.
The money, the desire to make money and have power in a way, Andrew Schultz and Patrick Bet-David is pointing out, is keeping these people anchored?
There's a nobility in your business succeeding because the people that work for you also succeed and they thrive within that business. So like you wanting to succeed is going to help them pay for their families and everything. Now, I'm not saying they make the right decisions. They make horrible decisions that we benefit from, and we just get to complain and whine about them.
Because we're on the right side of it.
You know what I'm saying? They go start some war somewhere. We take all the oil. Oil's $2 a gallon. We get to take all that oil, enjoy all that oil at $2 a gallon, and still go, they suck.
You know what he's describing? I think the term is cronyism.
Like there's someone that we get to be mad at, but still benefits us.
The appointment of friends and associates to positions of authority without proper regards to their qualifications. I don't know if I like that, because this says without qualification. But if you think about it, if you're in nepotism is family. Nepotism is family, I think, right? If you think about it, anyone who comes up with a group of friends and gets on is going to try to put their friends and get everybody on.
You're saying this King's dream is cronyism.
Yeah. You hire friends and you hire people you like to be around.
Yes.
You know, you hire friends, you hire people that you like to be around. And so what he's describing is all these people from different industries over time accumulate so much power and they just hire their own friends, and then they have their own self-interest.
Like, oh, this
yeah,
will be fun.
the good old boy network. Yeah, that's another way. But that's in everything. Like that's in everything. Like this idea that's only in Hollywood, or that's only in the music industry, or that's only in politics. That's in every industry.
Yeah.
Every industry, you come up with people and you put your own people on. Why aren't Christians doing this?
Yeah.
Why aren't Christians attaining power and influence?
Whoa.
And putting their own people on and expanding the reach, right? Like, why is it only in the confines of ministry or the theomany folks? Or is it theomany? Is that how you say that? The post-millennial folks.
Make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, though.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Yikes.
I like that. I like that call back to scripture.
How they gonna make those wars over there on piece of shit days? And they can't even complain about it.
So money keeps them honest. Their selfish intentions and desires makes them do the right thing. So then the question becomes, are they more driven by freedom, status, or control?
I would assume the latter.
Control.
You could say they're one and the same.
Yeah, they could all be wrapped up into one. I assume these people are patriots. They just have a different way of looking at their patriotism.
You think these people are patriots, some of these people?
I think that these
you think
people...
Soros is a patriot?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what that guy is.
Okay.
I don't even know what he is. I hear...
By the way, I love how all of these conversations always go back to George Soros.
Yeah.
The name is popular. I think he's done a great job of like making himself be mysterious and not even in the conversation. It's like just now with the internet. Like, think about this. This is fascinating. This is how you know that guy got some influence and control. We know everything about Jeffrey Epstein, everything about Ghislaine Maxwell. I got bikini pictures of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, you do.
Nobody even knows George Soros. They barely know his upbringing. They kind of like, if this guy is actively supporting these district attorneys in these liberal cities and destroying the fabric of these liberal cities and these liberal states, if he's doing that and we got one picture of him, that's different level.
Oh, George Soros definitely has a record of supporting some very loony policies in terms of the type of folks that are getting...
And he owns like everything, right?
He owns a lot of stuff.
Does he own BlackRock?
He breaks it down. He doesn't own BlackRock directly, but he definitely has some influence over the CSG scores, the quote unquote woke scores that some of these folks have. He gives some of the grant money to that stuff.
Yikes.
And it is possible that a guy like that is at odds with the people that want America to be successful.
Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast as they are streamed live into the community before anyone else gets to see them, get to interact with our guests, get access to our private Discord server, and a discount code for our store for as little as $5 a month. Ultimately, that will help towards helping us continue contextualizing the gospel using media and podcast here on YouTube. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.